JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 14th of July 2022. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, the quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos. Of course, a quick mentioning of our JFDbrokers.com website, which you can check out. And let's jump into the charts. So first of all, of course, I can see in the chat room and in the chat room there, Uwe. Yep, good morning to you too. Good morning to everybody else who's also joining in. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful start of Thursday. But if we take a look at Nikkei, I mean, well, actually, probably the word "but" doesn't really go well there. And if we take a look at Nikkei, Nikkei bulls are also having a good moment, a good day here. So yeah, the index did kind of rebound from the area close to this upside support line. I said before that I'm watching this one and I want to see if this is not going to end up being something of a ascending triangle. But yeah, at the moment it seems to be the case. So yeah, we're still kind of keeping that in mind. But if in order for us to go for some higher levels, still a push through this highlighted territory is required, and that's roughly above the 27,062 territory. So no really major new kind of analysis here, no major new analysis, just kind of the same thing, to be honest. I'm still watching this, and if you do like to trade in areas like that, okay, you can do it, but of course be very careful because this can change very quickly. Either way, I mean, because we're still in this formation, so that's why, yeah, I mean, for me, I'm just observing this one and waiting for a clear breakout. Shanghai Composite, so still kind of trading near this key support zone. I talked about this 3,263 territory. We did rebound initially, but we pushed a little bit higher, but then we drifted back down. So if you remember in the beginning of this week, I talked about this idea maybe of seeing a nice little head and shoulders pattern, but let's not rush into anything, guys. If we, let's say, in case we don't rebound and just straight away break this key support zone near that 3,263 territory, then yes, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and potentially more sellers could join in. Now jumping into the Australian index, the one that I keep on talking about, we're currently coiling up, and look, we rebounded from the lower side of this triangle, and we're still inside of it, but yeah, we rebounded from the lower side of it, and we're still trading in the formation. So again, the same analysis remains valid. Waiting for a clear breakout in order to consider the next short-term directional move. With the upside, the only issue with the upside is the fact that we're still overall trading below this downside line taken from the high of the 20th of April. So in other words, yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one here. So I would say let's wait and see. again, it's unfortunately some of the instruments are providing nice, interesting formations, nice, interesting opportunities, but you kind of just have to wait for it. Evu, yep, I can see you in the chat room there. Good morning to you too. Good morning to everybody else as well who's kind of watching this live and joining in later on. So yeah, guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful start of Thursday. The German index DAX. Okay, so this one, yeah, it did try to drop below this key support zone I talked about, and we did drop below it, below this 12,668 territory, roughly around here, but we failed to stay above, below it, and we drifted back to the upside. Now, let's have a look at the cash index where we're currently sitting at. So and to be honest, the fact that it kind of rebounded and kind of stayed for the second time above this kind of course, gives us a bit of hope that there might be a nice push to the upside. However, still the same idea is valid. I need to see a nice good push above that 12,912 territory in order to go for the upside. Now, the cash index is sitting at around 12,743 territories, so we're still basically stuck in here in this little area in between these two levels. So yeah, again, also a bit of a waiting game here. Now, Dow Jones Industrial Average. Okay, so this one, so far so good. It is doing what it has to be doing. It drifted lower. It almost managed to reach my target here, the 30,432 level. We drifted lower, but we found support kind of close to that area, I would say, and then we rebounded. The cash index is currently sitting at around 30,715 zone, so below yesterday's close, but still above this hurdle here. So I would say if now at this point, I mean, if you've managed to capture this drop, great. I think that, you know, you can take some profits, or if you want to leave this one, then of course definitely put your stop loss on a break even at least. Not to mention, you know, maybe taking some profits. But yeah, if you're looking for some further declines, I would prefer actually to see a drop below that 30,432 territory right there, and then we'll go from there. Now, DXY, the dollar index. Okay, so this one, yeah, it had a bit of a roller coaster journey yesterday. I mean, yesterday in general, we had a very eventful day. Not to mention that we got the U.S. inflation numbers, which came out much higher. So the headline year-on-year CPI number for June came out at plus 9.1, where the expectation was for plus 8.8. So a bit of an increase, and yeah, the market took that. The core as well, the core CPIs are also went higher. All the CPIs, all the CPI numbers, the month-on-month and the year-on-year and the headline and the core ones went higher. So yeah, this kind of gave a little boost initially for the US dollar. We saw some other instruments declining, like for example the euro dollar. The gold was on decline, but I think that in a way, let's see what's going to happen here with DXY, because yeah, if it pushes through the let me just grab a line. If it pushes through the current highest point of this week, roughly near the 108 point what's the number here, 58 level, yep, that's the one. If we climb above that, then yes, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could join in. Now, let's see if actually that's going to be the case, because of course I'm aiming for the 109.77 or even that psychological 110 zone, but let's go slowly on this one. There is potential for this one to continue moving higher, to be honest, and in a way it did what I was hoping it to do, like this little retracement. Yesterday we did that, and then we rebounded from and close to that 107.31 territory, and then we pushed to the upside. Now, in order to get a little bit more comfortable with higher levels, I need to see a nice good pop above that 108.58 level in order to, get a little bit more excited with the upside. With the downside, I would like to see now. Still, I'm keeping an eye on this little area, this little 106.80 zone, but maybe we could start even looking at this hurdle later on. But let's see this 107.31. But again, let's see how this is going to play out. If it starts dropping below this hurdle, then yes, I'll consider a bit of a maybe move to the downside. Now jumping into gold. So gold, yeah, was quite volatile yesterday for obvious reasons, and we drifted nicely to the downside initially. Initially we pushed higher, but then we sold off once the CPI numbers came out. US CPI numbers came out. Then yes, we drifted nicely to the downside. Look at this. We fell below that 1721 territory, but we quickly climbed back above it, and we stayed above it. So this gives a bit of hope, of course, for the buyers. Now, I would say like this, that as long as it stays above that 1721 territory, roughly around here, marked by the lowest point of September of 21, then yep, there could be some opportunities for the upside. So let's wait and see, guys. I mean, this is quite interesting. Given that we already had quite a decent decline, maybe a bit of retracement here could be possible. But of course, at the moment, still trend is to the downside. So you should not exclude that thing here. Oh, by the way, with gold, like I said, I'll get excited with the downside again if we drop and stay and continue to trade below that 1721 territory. US oil. Okay, so still flirting with that hurdle, this 93.56 zone. Yeah, so we have drifted lower. We fell also below that 95.13 area. We fell below the 200-day EMA, but as I said, this 93.56 did provide good support. That's why I have it highlighted here for quite a while now. So yeah, at the moment, if we're looking for some further declines, then certainly wait for a drop below that 93.56 zone. This will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, potentially more sellers could join in. With the upside now, in order to consider some higher levels, I would actually wait for a push above this downside line, just to be a little bit more on the safe side, because this push higher here up until this downside line could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. But if it starts breaking this downside line and pushes, and this is the thing, I mean, this where the downside line is, actually maybe this level could work out nicely, the 105.21. A nice good pop above it may also, push it above the high of the 8th of July, and also above all of the EMAs on our daily chart here. So this could be an interesting one if we do clear this downside line. But at the moment, guys, of course, the market is, oil traders are careful with those buys, because the market is kind of spooked a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of talks about recession. That means that people are, might stop spending too much. I mean, and of course, one of those costs which you can reduce, of course, is traveling. So so fuel costs might go a little bit lower, and this is what oil bulls are vary off. So that's the game plan on US oil. Again, like I said, waiting for that breakout. Ethereum, okay, just a quick update. Look at this beautiful move. I mean, look at this range. It rebounded nicely from the lower side of it and pushed higher. That doesn't mean that we'll now just move to the upper side here. And yes, it could, but again, the problem that I have here is that we are now below all of the EMAs here on our daily chart. And to be honest, I mean, in general, crypto world is not the the best performing sector right now. So so yeah, that's why it's a little bit tricky here to justify those longs. Yes, it's attractive. Yes, it's the rates are lower, but Yeah, I mean, again, it's a tricky one. I mean, look, I mean, if you're in for this for the long term, then yes, maybe that's absolutely fine. However, just still be very careful, because if we're if we're going to gonna have more declines, if there's more downside to come, then be careful what you invest in, which crypto you invest in, because some of them might just disappear. So we had this in the past, so we have to be very careful with that, guys. AUD very quickly on this one. So okay, so AUD pushed nicely to the upside. This morning we got the news, we got the employment numbers from Australia. So yeah, those came out much better than expected and gave a boost to that Australian dollar against some of its major counterparts. And look, I mean, this is what we got. So we got that breakout. So yeah, I mean, I said before that if we do push through this downside line and we stay above it, then there is potential for some higher levels. Now, in terms of the downside, now if this somehow starts dropping, now this is where I need to, I think, adjust a few levels here, because this is getting messy. And in general, I think this is the downside line that has to go now, and I think I will draw this way, yeah, just in case. So if we break the upside line, then yes, we could see a nice break here, a nice good drop. We could see a larger correction to the downside. I mean, this is how I would say, because don't forget that we're still trading above this upside line taken from the low of the 28th of January. But however, with the moment, as long as, I would say like this, as long as it stays above that 21-day EMA, I'm aiming for the upside. AUD NZD, so also something that I'm waiting for, yeah, if it clears this triangle pattern, great. We could see more bulls or bears joining in, depending on which breakout we'll have. But at the moment, yeah, it's coiling up. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what's going to happen here with this formation, which way this is going to break out to. So that might be quite interesting. However, the only thing is I just strongly recommend is not to think, for example, if we do get a breakout, don't think that from here it will just either skyrocket or just end up in a free fall or something like that. No, it might be just, let's say, a breakout here through the lower side of this triangle, and then it would end up testing the 100-day EMA together with the where's that horizontal ray, together with this low, the lowest point of May of this year, near the 1.0922, or it might just kind of travel here, travel to the highest point of June near the 1.1160 or 1.1170, so on. So don't be way too optimistic or pessimistic once we get a breakout through this area. Now USD JPY, okay, so this one is just on fire and continues to push higher. And yeah, looking at this, this is unstoppable at the moment. The dollar is performing quite well, for obviously acting as a safe haven at the moment. But looking at this, guys, I mean, at some point this will have to correct. However, I would put it this way. This is where I'm putting my new target here, this 137.75, which we broke out through. So yeah, I mean, there is potential still for the upside, but if by any chance, just by any chance, if it somehow ends up falling back below this hurdle, below this 137.75, I'm going to consider a retracement to the downside, at least towards that 21-day EMA. USD CHF, so also quite interesting. So we got that rebound. Look at this. Look, everything kind of worked out perfect. I talked about this and I said that, look, I mean, we might push higher, but maybe a bit of retracement could be possible. And we got that retracement. We drifted lower. We tested the 0.9764. We rebounded from it, and now we're pushing to the upside again. So I would say is working out nicely. I think I would say half of the 50% is working out well. Now the other 50 is to see if actually it's going to pop higher. Now this is where my concern is, of course. If DXY somehow fails to, let's say, stay, let's say, on the upside here and starts correcting higher, correcting lower, then, well, expect USD CHF also drifting nicely to the downside. And this is the point where I'll say I'm going to redraw my arrow here, and I'm going to keep an eye on this 0.9764 area. If we drop and stay below it, I will consider a bit of a retracement here to the downside. GBP, GPY, okay, so we broke this. I haven't picked up on this one for quite a while, but anyway, what I was saying previously that, oh yeah, I haven't picked up on this one for a while, to be honest, looking at by the arrows. So previously I talked about this and I said that, look, we're trading below this downside line taken from the high of the 22nd of June. Okay, so as long as we remain below it, yep, I'll continue aiming to the downside, and well, we got a breakout today. However, we're currently getting a hold up near the 21-day EMA, and that's where I'm still not very, that excited. To be honest, what I'm going to be excited with will be a push through this barrier, this 164.46, 47 zone. And as you could pop above it, that's the high of the 11th of July. And as you could pop above it, would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and more buyers could join in. In terms of the downside, I would like to see a move somewhere back below this downside line, but also, let me just put this on the chart, but also maybe, just maybe, of course this is not ideal, so this is one upside line here, the tentative upside support line, and then there's another one, like something like that. So a bunch of, oh, not this one. A bunch of tentative upside lines here that kind of could play out. So basically something like this. I mean, I'm trying to kind of find something somewhere. Basically, I mean, I should just kind of leave it and to see what's going to happen further. But let's put it this way: I'm going to keep an eye on this upside line drawn like this. I want to see if this is somehow going to carry any significance. At the moment, I'm saying I'm cautiously bullish, but I need a confirmation breakout right there. For the downside, I would prefer maybe to, oh, and by the way, actually, this comes in nicely here with this low, yesterday's low. So let's put it this way: a nice good drop below yesterday's low may attract a few more sellers into the game, and we could go for a larger correction to the downside. Euro CHF. So this one, of course, it's getting crushed. The buyers are getting crushed right now. They can't just get a grip somewhere here. Well, of course, it's understandable because, well, the euro is suffering right now, and to be honest, there's more potential for the downside. And again, excuse me for going blank there. Yeah, again, the moment it's like, yeah, it's just one-way traffic. However, I've mentioned these before. I do like such patterns when I can't remember which one we had. Oh, I think it was Euro CAD. There we go. Yeah, I think it was Euro CAD. So basically, when we have something like this, when we have a strong drop lower here initially, and then we have a kind of a grinding moment here to the downside, this kind of creates that little channel, I would say. So let me see if it actually can create a little channel here. If it is, yeah, I think it could be the case. So it's not an ideal one, but nevertheless still something to monitor. So whenever we have something like this, it tends to kind of break out to the upside later on at the later stage, but again, until that breakout happens, we cannot really get excited with the upside. So long story short, we just have to wait again. If you're looking for some further declines in this one, a drop below the 0.98 territory would be nice. This would confirm a forthcoming lower low and potentially attract more sellers. For the upside, now this is where I need to adjust a few levels. For the upside, and what I'm looking at here is something like this here. So this 0.9945 area, and a nice good pop above it may attract more buyers, but you could already start looking at the upside if we start breaking this upper side of the falling channel. So again, like I said, at the moment, while we're within this channel, it can still continue drifting lower for quite a while, but this kind of the whole pattern here is giving me a bit of hope that there might be some upside later on. And to be honest, I mean, there will be some later upside later on, but we just have to wait for it. Wait for it patiently, and then yeah, we could squeeze something out of this. EURUSD. So this one's also near a key support zone. I mentioned this already, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because, look, I mean, we're near this key support zone, near the 1.6368. So if the euro weakness continues, then yeah, certainly this could break out lower. And my next target then is the 1.6181, and then we'll take it from there. For the upside, what I need to see here is probably a push somewhere, maybe yeah, somewhere above this area, above this 1.6472 territory. I get it, there are a bunch of EMAs here that could provide resistance, but we'll be very careful with that, and we'll go slowly. Of course, we'll have our stop loss in place, and then if we do push through this barrier, maybe a bit of a retracement here to the upside could be possible. Now, finally, EURUSD. So, of course, the most commonly talked pair right now. Everybody's like, oh, it's reaching the parity. Okay, yeah, it reached it. So, okay, well, the world adjusts, we adjust. That's our nature, kind of. So, yes, we haven't been here for quite a while, and let me just jump into a monthly chart. So we haven't been here for 20 years. Okay, that's what everybody's like. These are the headlines that everybody's seeing right now because it looks nice. It looks the headlines look beautiful. I mean, something that sounds quite kind of nice, I would say. That's the word, when it sounds like 20 years. We haven't been there for 20 years, and there we go, we're back here. So look, the economy kind of goes further, and in 2001 here, yeah, we had a bit of a problem in the economy in the beginning of the 2000 here. So if you remember, then certainly yes, we had that strong decline, and everybody was already talking then. We were at 1.43 in 5 years before that. Then we slid to we had that. Those economic problems here, and then we recovered, and we pushed higher, and we pushed back to the 1.60 territory, and then from here, from when it was 2008, that's during the crisis. So basically if everybody's hoping for a financial crisis, and to apply the same logic right now, and if we are like getting into a crisis, then maybe actually this will reverse back to the upside. Let's like I said, let's wait and see. There is still potential for the downside, don't get me wrong. I'm really monitoring that 0.96 territory. That's something that I'm really liking right now. Not saying that this can be reached in one day or even a month. Maybe it'll require a few months. Maybe by the end of the year we could reach that. So something to keep in mind for you. So in a way, at the moment, any kind of pullback, any pullback could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. And like I said, of course, some of you might take advantage of that. So another thing which I really wanted to quickly mention, for example, for trading EURUSD today, let's say. We do have some data coming out. Initial jobless claims. That's what we have today. So it might have an effect. Of course, the main action was yesterday, but let's see if we can get some action today as well. Basically, what I'm looking at here is we are drifting lower, and there is potential for more downside for this one. The only thing is what I want to see how this is going to play out today, because for example, if we do drop below that one level, we might go further south, but let's say by the end of the day, if we still reverse back to the upside and stay above that one level, then we'll get ourselves a nice false breakout, and that means that maybe we could be ready for a bit of a larger maybe correction here to the upside. Again, this is just an idea, a rough idea. If we do drop below the that one level and stay below it, then like I said, yeah, I'll continue aiming lower. Then the next target for me is that 0.99 level, and then we'll just take it from there. But like I said, I just wanted to kind of give you an example that, let's say, sometimes this happens, and sometimes when we have formations like that. Yesterday, for example, it did try to go higher, failed, and today it's drifting to the downside. But the fact that we are still holding on to that one level, that's maybe there is showing that there's a huge presence of buyers around this area. So like I said, we might get a drop lower here, a sharp drop lower, but if by the end of the day it still stays above that one level, maybe this is where we could go maybe a little bit to the upside in the near term. So guys, that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Thank you very much for your views, for your likes, your comments, guys. Really appreciate that. So that really means, really means a lot for me. So thank you very much. I hope you'll join me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.